You came springing up our red carpet here.
Yes.
You always look so fabulous. Obviously, you know, dance.
Yeah,
we were reading that obviously you're a great fan of homeopathic medicine,
yes.
natural medicine, this sort of thing. Does that sort of stem from obviously your dancing days? Because everybody I know who's in dance, you rub a bit of arnica in if you've got bruising.
Yes.
You take the tablets. Is that where it came from?
Yeah. Partly that, you know, I remember being in my kind of first dance schools when arnica was given for everything. Yeah. But I had an experience. Now, I am the most down-to-earth. You can't bull-S me about anything. And my oldest daughter, who's now 36, Alana, had constant tonsillitis, probably from the age of being small, 2, 3, 4. And constantly go to the doctors. You got the yellow penicillin, and I would feed her it till the end of however, you know, and it would happen again and again. I was working in Hamburg on actually a production of Starlight Express, and we were in rehearsals. It was school holidays for her, and I'd taken her with me, and she got the worst bout of tonsillitis. I just didn't know what to do. They arranged for me to see a doctor, and I took her into the doctor's, and he said, yes, well, I can see the problem. She's got such an incredible amount of penicillin built up inside her that she will never, ever get rid of this. And he said, so as you know, she'd become immune. And he said, and as you know, the doctors in Germany are trained traditionally, and we're trained in homeopathy, and I recommend homeopathic drops for 2 months. And she didn't like taking them in a glass of water. And he said, and nothing else, and she must not go back to penicillin. 2 months she had these drops. Not only did the tonsillitis clear, but I can't ever remember her getting it again for such a long time.
I think that's a terrific story, and I think penicillin and antibiotics are overprescribed. But homeopathy is quite controversial because there's no scientific evidence
whatsoever
that it works. So you could argue that it's a mental thing, that, you know, the jury's out on homeopathy.
Yes.
The NHS doesn't recommend it, nor does it.
It doesn't deny it.
It doesn't deny it. And so it's in this kind of grey area.
Yes.
And it's... also, I feel, because I've got arthritis, a lot's written, for example, about diet affecting arthritis. And my specialist said to me, it's a mental thing. If you want to get better, you will get better, and there's no rhyme or reason. Now, wouldn't you say the same thing about a lot of homeopathy? Because I've rubbed arnica on bruises, and I've taken it, and it doesn't work for me.
It does work for me.
But it doesn't work for me.
OK, but that is like so many things in life. It works for one and not for the other.
Yeah.
I have recently had a knee operation. I used arnica before. It was quite a big knee operation, and I used it afterwards. I had no bruising. Now, when I think of something battering through, you would naturally think that you have bruising. And I totally understand. I'm kind of with you, you know. But all I can say is she hated drinking these drops like this twice a day for 2 months. If she could have mentally abandoned this, and the fact that it didn't come back, I don't know how these things happen, because I know as there is no scientific proof. I just know that worked for her. Arnica definitely works for me. And I tell you something else. I slather on calendula for my skin. Why? Don't ask me, but I was told it was really good for my skin, and I'm sticking with that. Because most people say I've got pretty good skin.
And obviously, and one of the reasons we brought that up is it's Homeopathy Week, and obviously we put on social media that we're going to be talking about this.
Yes.
There's been a huge response to it. We have to say it's 50-50. So again, it's like anything. It might be anecdotal rather than medical, but you know, it works for some and not for others. We've sadly run out of time with you there, Arlene. But thank you for coming on to see us today.